Madhava Kunja Bihari. You all can try to repeat after me. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Raja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Raja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Gauranitai. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Nai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So first of all, we would like to express our congratulations to Vrishali Mataji and the entire Parsekar family for coming into this wonderful, beautiful, very windy, very, the ambience is really good. The vibrations are really good of this place. So I think Krishna's special mercy on all of you all that you all have come into this house. This is your dream house?
No.
No. But
Dream
yeah.
house was a villa, but I waited for 15 years and then I settled for this.
Yeah, as good as a villa. As good as a villa. Very nice place. Very happy to be here. I was just reflecting. A house in Sanskrit or Hindi is called bhavan, right? And a forest, a jungle is called van. Bhavan and van. What is the difference? Only the word bha, right? So what happens in a jungle, in a forest? Everyone there is just fighting amongst each other, right? And in a bhavan, in a house, there has to be love and harmony amongst each other. So how do you make a house into bhavan? Just the four walls don't make a house into a bhavan. When you have Bhagavan, Krishna, then that house becomes bhavan. Otherwise it becomes one forest. And real bhavan is actually Vrindavan. Vrindavan is a forest, but it's a forest where Lord Krishna is there. As the wind was blowing here very wonderfully, I was remembering actually Vrindavan Dham. We sang this beautiful song, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. When Lord Krishna was in Vrindavan, he would do his pastimes along the banks of Yamuna. And if you have gone along the banks of Yamuna, it's always very, very windy there. So we are very far away from Vrindavan. We are in Goa. But if you can remember Krishna, if you can have Krishna in your house, that house actually becomes Vrindavan. One of our great acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his bhajan he says, Jedina grihe bhajan deki grihete goloka bhaya. He says, when I see in my house, when there is satsang going on like this, my house becomes Golok Vrindavan, becomes a spiritual world. So we may not be able to go to Vrindavan often, but the idea is that when you go to a temple, when you go to Vrindavan, the idea is to recreate the atmosphere at your own house. And the mood of Vrindavan is where everyone is serving Krishna. The Vrajavasis, their center of their life was Krishna, and all their life will revolve around Krishna. So ideal house is where all the family members put Krishna in the forefront and they are all working around pleasing Krishna. That's the whole idea. And when you do that, the house actually becomes really Bhavan. Bhavan.
So Bha has a meaning?
Bha means Bhagavan. Bha is Bhagavan. God is Bhagavan. So therefore, when you have Bhagavan in your house, then the house becomes Bhavan. That's the idea. And this colony is also a very beautiful colony. And Atiri's house is quite spacious. So probably, she can do some regular satsangs here. That's the idea of the house actually, basically. If you have more and more people come to your house and do Krishna Katha, Kirtan, then the perfection of the house. Right? So with that, I would like to begin today's session. Today I was thinking of speaking something from the Bhagavad Gita, the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So yesterday I had spoken to Mataji and her daughter. I was asking them what we should speak on. So they were telling me that we are moving into a new place, we are coming out of a old place. So please speak something on detachment. So I was quite surprised. They are coming into a new house, but still that mood of detachment is very strongly there. And that's the spirit of the Gita actually. Ultimately, this house doesn't belong to us. It belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. So we are at best caretakers for some time. After some time, we have to just leave and go. So while we live in this world, living in a spirit of detachment is something that's very, very important. We understand that our goal is just not to settle here permanently. Our goal is to go back to that spiritual world. One time, one of our leaders in ISKCON, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was visiting one devotee's house, one couple's house in Mumbai. And as he came out from that house, there was one more devotee couple who was staying next to this family. They told Maharaj, why don't you come to our place also? The wife, the lady invited Maharaj. So Maharaj went in their house and the husband, the lady had invited, the husband was telling Maharaj, Maharaj, I didn't invite you because I was thinking that we have just moved into this house. So I was thinking that let's settle down and then we will invite you. Maharaj at once said, this material world is not a place to settle down. We are not here permanently. Even if you want to settle down, you can't settle down permanently. It's better to make our house in the spiritual world. That's our eternal place. So Bhagavad Gita speaks about this journey, how we can move from this temporary material world, which is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, a place filled with misery and temporariness, and how do we go back to that eternal spiritual world. So I would like to share something with you all from the Bhagavad Gita. This is chapter 15. Chapter 15 is called Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. So Lord Krishna explains here, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam Ashwattam Prahur Avyayam Chandamsa Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit. So Lord Krishna says, this material world, speaking about the material world, so Lord Krishna gives an example, Urdhva Moola Adashakam. He says this material world is an upside down banyan tree. Why does Lord Krishna compare the material world to a banyan tree? Because if you all have seen a banyan tree, a Vatavriksha, a banyan tree, very difficult to tell which is the original trunk. Because there are so many branches, it's very, very complex. So similarly, our existence in this world is very, very complex. Why we are suffering now, due to which karma, very, very difficult. It's a complex mess. It's like a huge samsara vriksha, a huge banyan tree. So therefore, Lord Krishna compares this material world to a banyan tree. But Lord Krishna says, what kind of banyan tree this material world is? Urdhva Moola Adashakam. He says this material world is an upside down banyan tree. Have you all ever seen a tree upside down? Ulta tree, have you ever seen it?
Yes.
You know where we see it? In the reflection. If a tree is standing next to a body of water, in the water, in the reflection, how will you see the tree? Completely opposite. So Lord Krishna says this material world is an upside down banyan tree. What does it mean? That means the real tree, the real enjoyment is in the spiritual world. Imagine If someone is standing next to this reservoir of water, and in the water he is seeing mangoes, Alfonso, yeah, Mankurat mangoes, right? And he dives into the water. Will he get the mango? He'll never get the mango. He's seeing the mango, but if he dives, as much as he dives and the more different ways in which he dives, he's not going to find the mango. Why? The mango is just there. What you are seeing is just the reflection of the mango. The real mango is not down here, the real mango is on top. You have to change your perspective completely. So Lord Krishna gives this example. We are all looking for the real nectar, the real bliss in life. But the problem is we are searching it for the reflection in the reflection of this world. The real nectar, the real bliss is in the spiritual world. What we are seeing in this world is only a mirage, only a reflection. And we are trying our best to enjoy. It looks very real, it's very close. But as soon as you go near, you don't get anything in hand.
So why does it look so real?
Because the real is there in the spiritual world. This material world is only a reflection.
Why does it look real?
Why does it look real? Yeah, that's the nature. Just like if you go to a body of water, in the reflection, in the water, you will definitely see the whole tree very, very real. Right? But those who have knowledge, therefore Lord Krishna uses the word Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. One who understands how this material world is, he is actually knowledgeable. So in this world, there is something called Maya, illusion. The illusion is so strong, it appears real. Just like, when someone is in a desert, you see oasis. But there's no water there, it's just a mirage, just an illusion. Because your desire to drink water is so much, your mind envisions something. So similarly, there is no real happiness in this world. It's only a reflection of the true happiness. So the scriptures explain how much ever we try to enjoy in this world, we are not going to get anything in hand. Because the real happiness, the real fruit is not here at all. So we have to stop searching downwards in this material world, and we have to start looking upwards towards the spiritual world and Krishna. And that's what the journey of Bhagavad Gita is. So therefore Lord Krishna says, if you want to find real happiness, you have to turn towards the spiritual world, towards Krishna. Something very interesting, when I gave you this example that an upside down banyan tree is only seen in a body of water, in a reservoir of water. What does this water represent? That means for a reflection to exist, Mataji's question, for a reflection to exist, there has to be water. If there is no water, there is no reflection. So similarly, this material world, which is the reflection of the spiritual world, what is it reflected on? What is this water? This water is desire. Desire. That means the whole material existence is there only because of desire. As soon as these desires go away, all illusion automatically disappears. So that's how Lord Krishna explains this material world. And Lord Krishna says what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to practice detachment. Lord Krishna says, Ashwattam enam, so virudam moolam, asanga shastrena dridena chitva. So therefore, asanga shastrena. If you want to cut a tree, you need an axe, right? So similarly, to cut this tree of illusion, what is the axe you need? To cut a real tree, you need a real axe. To cut the tree of illusion, what axe you need? The only axe you need is asanga shastrena. That means the weapon of detachment. That's all you need. The only thing you need is detachment. Many times we feel that, why is Maya troubling me? Why is illusion troubling me? The point is, Maya is not holding on to us. We are actually holding on to Maya. So we need to practice detachment. Asanga shastrena dridena chitva. Dridena chitva is great determination. In order to practice detachment, you also need determination. Because the pleasures of this world, the temptations of this world are so strong, very difficult to get out. There's this wonderful story. One time Narad Muni, you have heard of Narad Muni? Narad Muni is the great associate of the Lord. An eternal spaceman, Srila Prabhupada would call him. We all need visas and passports to move around. Narad Muni, he doesn't need anything. He just goes everywhere singing the names of Krishna. So Narad Muni, one time he went to Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, and told Narayan, the Supreme Lord, I'm seeing people suffering in this world. Please open the doors of the spiritual world. I want to bring as many people as possible to the spiritual world. That's the mood of a pure devotee. A pure devotee wants to connect more and more people to Krishna. So Lord Narayan told Narada, my dear Narada, it's not so easy. Your desire is very strong, but it's not so easy to convince people of this world. Narada told the Lord, don't worry, just keep the doors of the spiritual world open, and whoever I get, allow them entry, whether they are qualified or not qualified. The Lord said, okay, generally this is not possible, but for you I will do it. So Narada Muni comes to this world and he tells everyone, whatever you have done or whatever you have not done, whatever sins you have done, forget everything. Just follow me. The doors of the spiritual world is open. Hundreds and thousands of people followed Narada because everyone wants to go to Vaikuntha. And Narada Muni was so happy with his preaching. He was, wherever he was going, he was inspiring more and more people to join his party. And he reached Vaikuntha. And he went to Lord Narayana and announced, my dear Lord, just see, I've got so many people to the spiritual world. Lord Narayana asked him, I don't see anyone. Narada Muni turned around, no one was there. Narada Muni was thinking, what happened? Thousands and thousands of people followed me, what happened? The problem was, when you go from this world to the spiritual world, on the way there are a lot of heavenly planets. So all the people who are going, they thought, once we go there, we cannot come back. Let me check some pleasures in the heavenly realms. So they all got stranded in different places. No one reached there. So that's the point. Going to the spiritual world is not easy. We need a lot of determination because the temptations and the distractions in this world are too strong. So therefore Lord Krishna says, if we develop this kind of detachment, and this detachment comes in the association of devotees, right? So therefore when we come to satsangs like this, when we read books, slowly we get detached. When we stay in association of non-devotees, we will get more and more attached to this world. In their association, we will get more and more desires. Like you go to a shopping mall, right? You don't have any, maybe you have a desire to buy one pen and come. But when you go to a shopping mall, you come out buying hundreds of things. Because the world is designed in such a way that it creates more and more desires. That's the nature of this world. So therefore, we have to stay in association of devotees that can help us develop right desires and stay away from wrong desires. And Lord Krishna says, when we do this, we will all go back to that spiritual world. Tam eva chadyam purusham prapadye yata pravrti parashta purani. We will go back to that spiritual world, and after going to that spiritual world, we will not come back to this material world. Once we experience that kind of eternal life, where there is no birth, no death, no disease, no problems, we will definitely not come back to the material world. Lord Krishna explains, if you want to go to that spiritual world, what are the kind of qualities that we need to develop, right? Just like if you want to enter into a particular college, like Matali's son, where did you study? US. Studied in US. And your daughter is studying in US now? So if you want to get into a good college, university, you have to clear certain exams. You need some qualifications. Similarly, to enter into the spiritual world, you need some qualifications, right? So what are the various qualifications you need to enter into the spiritual world? Lord Krishna explains, Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandher vimukte sukha dukkha samger gachanti amudha padam avyayam tat. Lord Krishna says, who can enter into the spiritual world? Nirmana moha. So nirmana means pride. Nirmana means you have to be free from pride. As long as you have ego, I am this, I am that, I am great, you cannot enter into the spiritual world. Jesus Christ said, the door to the spiritual world is so low, you will have to literally bend and then enter into the spiritual world. So you have to be free from pride. Nirmana moha, and you have to be free from illusion. Jita sanga dosha is we have to be free from wrong association. So these are very practical things. Those are things that Gita is not practical. You can see all these points. Lord Krishna is saying to enter into the spiritual world, we have to stay away from wrong association. Because if we associate with wrong people, then we will never enter into the spiritual world. And then Lord Krishna says, Adhyatma Nitya. Nitya means eternal. Adhyatma Nitya means one has to understand spiritual subject matters. Adhyatma, right? Atma refers to soul. Adhyatma refers to study of the soul. In today's world, we have so many departments, right? You go to any big university, you have hundreds and thousands of departments. Physics, chemistry, geography, unlimited departments. Is there any department that teaches you about the soul? Any department? Any university in the world that gives you a degree on Atma? No? What's the point? Right? So that's the point Lord Krishna is saying, Adhyatma Nitya. We are not saying we don't need the regular education, we definitely need that. But along with that, we need spiritual knowledge. Adhyatma Nitya. And what does Nitya means? Continuous. It's not that you will do bhakti, once a year, once a month, sometimes when your mood is there. Nitya means something that is consistent. They say water is very, very soft and rock is very, very solid, very hard. But you have seen in waterfalls, when that one drop of water keeps falling on that same place continuously, that water can create a hole in a rock. Why? What is the power? The power in the water is, Hare Krishna, consistency. Consistency is the key. So therefore, Adhyatma Nitya, Vinivritta Kama. Vinivritta Kama means free from lust. This lust, Hare Krishna, this lust, what does lust mean? Lust means the desire to enjoy separate of God. This lust is so strong that keeps us continuously in this world. Lord Krishna in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, this lust, Mahashano Mahapapma. Lord Krishna says, this lust is our greatest enemy. Our enemy is not out there. We have our enemy within. We have that Ravana, that lust within us. So therefore, we have to be free from lust. Vinivritta Kama. Dvander Vimukta. Dvander means duality. This material world is a place of duality. Did I explain this to you all sometime? This material world, everything comes in pairs of two. You have day, night. You have man, woman. You have happiness, distress. You have fame, infamy. Right? You have so many things. You have heat, cold. You have everything in pairs of two. And we are all caught. We are friend, enemy. We are all, and the mind keeps revolving around this. Sometimes happy, sometimes sad, sometimes we think that he's our friend, he's our enemy. We are constantly revolving in this. And that's how we are stuck in this world of duality. Happiness, distress. We are stuck here. So Lord Krishna says, Dvander Vimukta. We have to be free from this duality. In the spiritual world, there is no duality. There is no night, day. There is no friend, enemy. There is, all these concepts are not there in the spiritual world at all. So, and to enter into the spiritual world, you need your spiritual consciousness, right? So therefore, friend, enemy, good, bad, all these things are what the mind labels. In essence, everything is ultimately good. Whatever the Lord does is for our good. So we have to be free from this kind of duality, happiness or distress. Dvander Vibhukta Sukha Dukkha Samger. Whether it is happiness or distress, you see everything equally. Gachanti Amudha Padam Avyayam Tat. Such an intelligent person, Amudha means foolish. Amudha means one who is intelligent. Such an intelligent person can enter into that spiritual world. Lord Krishna, anywhere in the Gita, Lord Krishna speaks, many places he speaks about knowledge, intelligence. Nowhere Lord Krishna says one who has a PhD degree is intelligent. One who has gone to US and done studies is intelligent. Lord Krishna doesn't say that. Lord Krishna always refers intelligence to spiritual intelligence. Someone who understands what the material world is, someone who is humble, someone who has these divine qualities, he is Atma Gyan, he is really intelligent. Otherwise, it's all ignorance in this world. So someone may say, okay, if I practice this, I enter into the spiritual world. can you give me an idea what the spiritual world is? If you want to go somewhere, like Mataji came to this place, Adarsh Milrock. Before this, where you are, Mataji?
Models legacy.
Models Legacy. So before she decided to buy this place, she came and saw the place, right? You saw the features of this place, And because you liked it, therefore you made the shift, right? So now for us to go from here to the spiritual world, we need to have some idea, what the spiritual world is. Then we'll get that impetus to go there. So what does the spiritual world look like? Lord Krishna in the Gita gives only one hint. Lord Krishna says, Na tadbhasyate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Lord Krishna defines the spiritual world as Na tadbhasyate suryo na shashanko na pavaka. Lord Krishna says the spiritual world is such that there is no sun, there is no moon, there is no fire, there is no electricity, but there is light everywhere. Imagine this. In this material world which we are so proud of, right? In this material world, you remove these four things. You remove the sun, you remove the moon, you remove fire, and you remove electricity. What's there in this world? Only darkness. Only darkness in this world. These four things, are they made in factory, man-made? No. There was this wind blowing, This wind, did it come from some factory from US? The wind is being blown. Krishna is doing that.
All free.
So all the miracles in this world are coming from Krishna. Right? Still people become atheists. Right? Someone said, what is the definition of an atheist? How do you define an atheist? How do you define an atheist?
Doesn't have faith in God.
One who doesn't have faith in God. So someone said, one of our devotees, to define an atheist also you need God. How do you define an atheist? Someone who doesn't believe in God. That means the atheist also doesn't have his existence without God. So that's the idea. So Lord Krishna says the spiritual world is such that these four things are not there, still there is light everywhere. How? Because Krishna is personally present in the spiritual world, the effulgence coming from Krishna's body is enough to lit the entire spiritual world. Right? So this information, slight information, but this information should excite us. At least let us go and see that spiritual world. See a place where there is no sun, no moon, no fire, no electricity, still light. What is that world? At least that kind of curiosity should be there. Let me just go and check it. And Lord Krishna says, Yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That place, that abode of mine is the topmost. And once someone goes there, he doesn't come back to this temporary material world. That's the beauty of the spiritual world. And Lord Krishna says, if you don't go back to the spiritual world, what will happen to us? Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasastani indriyani prakriti-stani karishyati. So Lord Krishna says, who are we? Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Mamaivamsho. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. Right? Who is Atma? We are all spirit soul. Atma is part and parcel of that Paramatma. So that means inherently we are all spirit. We are all qualitatively one with God. So we are all supposed to be in that spiritual world, Atma and the Paramatma enjoying together, having a beautiful relationship together. But we have left the pleasures, the happiness of the spiritual world and come to this material world. And what's happening in the material world? Manasastani indriyani prakriti-stani karishyati. The word karishyati means struggling hard. In this world, it's all survival for the existence. That's it. Everyone is struggling hard to live, survive in this world, making ends meet. Right? We are supposed to be enjoying the spiritual world with Krishna, but because we have left him and come here, we are just struggling on and on and on. And Lord Krishna says, it's just not that in this life we struggle. If we don't go back, then probably we'll have to take a birth again. And there's no guarantee which form we will be born. In the verses ahead, Lord Krishna says, Shotram chakshu sparshanam cha rasanam grahanam evacha adhishtaya manaschasam vishayan upasevate. So after death, If someone doesn't go to the spiritual world, someone dies, you take another birth, right, in another body. And in that body, you will have eyes, hands, the eyes, whatever, nose. But not necessary, it may be a human eye, human head. It can be any animal, any species, right? So in this way, we are taking repeated births again and again. Adi Shankaracharya in his prayer says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janare Jatare Shayanam, Iha Sansare Bahudushtare Kripaya Pahe Pahe Murare. So what's happening to us in the material world? The story of all of us in the material world is the same. What is that story? Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janare Jatare Shayanam. We all have one same story. Take birth and then die. After you die, again you enter into another womb of a mother. No guarantee which womb it will be, not necessarily a human being. So we keep going in this cycle of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Iha Sansare Bahudushtare. Shankaracharya says, my dear Lord, this world is a cruel place. It's a difficult place. What am I doing here? Getting recycled again and again. So one of the name of this material world is called Bhava Sagar. If you have heard this word, Bhava Sagar. Sagar means ocean. Bhava, you know what does Bhava mean? Bhava means to become. In this world, we are only becoming, unbecoming, becoming, unbecoming. That's what we are doing. We are continuously changing our identity. This body, that body. So Lord Krishna is saying, what is this? What kind of life this is? Utkratmanam sthitam vapi gunjana va gunanvitam vimuda nanu pashyanti jnana chakshusha. The foolish people, amuda nanu pashyanti. The foolish people cannot see this happening. They just cannot see this happening. They just live like life normally. Just like now, you go to a butcher shop, right? You will have the butcher, slaughtering goats. One goat is getting slaughtered, the other goats are there right at the back. It doesn't strike them that, Baba, next my number is going to come. They are just foolish. So similarly in this world, we are all, getting slaughtered by death, the miseries in this world. But no one realizes anything. Why? Because people don't have the eyes of knowledge. Lord Krishna uses the word Jnana Chakshusha. Chakshusha means eyes. You can't see the reality with these eyes. To see the reality, you need the eyes of knowledge. Simple. If Prime Minister of Australia is sitting next to you in the flight and you don't know anything about him, you're seeing him yet not seeing him. But once you have heard about him, you will see the same person in a different way. Because now you have the eyes of knowledge. Similarly, someone who doesn't have knowledge, he will see a diamond and think that this is an ordinary stone. But someone who has knowledge will see the same diamond in a different way. So these eyes are not the eyes to see the world. You can see the world through Jnana Chakshusha, the eyes of knowledge. And therefore Lord Krishna says, those who are devotees, those who are well versed in the scriptures, they can actually see how this world is a place of suffering, how it's a place of birth and death, and how their perspective changes. Ultimately, spiritual life is about changing perspectives. How we see problems, how we see the people in this world, how do we see good and bad, whatever comes in life, how do we see it? It's all about changing perspectives. So therefore, Lord Krishna says, those who are transcendentalists, change their perspective and slowly go to that spiritual world which is free from all defects. And then Lord Krishna explains, you see, can I continue for some time more? Okay. So, see, we have come in this world, as I told you, we have left Krishna, we have left that spiritual world and come in this world. But even in this world, even though in one sense we have rebelled against God, we have come here, still the Supreme Lord is so merciful to us. He's constantly helping us in so many different ways. He's taking care of our body, He's taking care of our mind, He's taking care of our soul. The next set of verses, 2-3 verses, Lord Krishna explains how so merciful He is to all of us. And if we can appreciate this, we can actually start to love Krishna a little more, and we can start to be a little grateful to Krishna. In this world, we are so ungrateful. Whatever the Lord does, there is no sense of gratitude. So Lord Krishna says here, Yad aditya gatam tejo jagat bhasyate kilam yad chandramsi yad chagno yad tejo vidhi mamakam. So Lord Krishna says, sun, the splendor of the sun, and the splendor of the moon, the splendor of the fire, right? All these things come from me. Sun, moon, fire, right? So Prabhupada explains all these three things are very, very important, right? You need, Prabhupada explains, understand the science behind this. Why you need the sun? Because if there is no sun, there will not be any grains that will grow, right? Because of the sun, there is grains. Not only that, because of the sun, there is rains, right? Remember, June, July already touched and no rains. People are like really panicking. What's happening? Imagine if rains didn't come. It's like a big, big loss. So because of Krishna, there is sun, and because of the sun, there is rains, and because there is rains, there is grains. And because there is moon, there is the fruits and vegetables gets their nourishment. The juice in the fruits and vegetables, the juicy factor is because of the moonshine, right? Now, grains are there, the rains come, the sun is made by Krishna, the rains come by Krishna's mercy, right? And the grains come by Krishna's mercy. The fruits, vegetables, the nourishment, the juice in them comes by Krishna's mercy. Now you have grains, now you have vegetables. To cook them, what do you need? Fire. So Lord Krishna says that fire also comes from me, right? So ultimately, even for food, we are dependent on Krishna. To grow food, to cook food. And then Lord Krishna says,
Why do you restrict the sleep? You don't add water and air.
yeah, everything will come.
Okay.
Water and air is included, yeah. Yeah. I told you, water is already connected, right? Because there is sun, water gets evaporated from the ocean, then there is rain. Everything ultimately comes from Krishna. This is the 15th chapter. In the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Bhumi rapo nalo vayur kammano buddhi revacha ahankara itiyam me binna prakriti ashtada. Lord Krishna says, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, everything comes from me. So everything is included in that list. You cannot have the ninth factor. Krishna has included everything in that list. Only thing, Lord Krishna didn't patent his products. That's the only mistake Lord Krishna did. If on earth, water, everywhere, it was written, made by Krishna, patented, then everyone would recognize. But Krishna is so detached, he doesn't want his name. Those who are intelligent will understand. Then Lord Krishna says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Pranapana Samayukta Pachami Annam Chaturvidam. So now, I told you, because of Krishna's grace, there is sun, the sun evaporates water, there is rain, rains fall on the ground, there is grains, there is fruits, vegetables. The fire also Krishna gives, you cook food. Now after you cook food, you eat, right? Now when you eat it, what happens inside your stomach? Digestion. In the stomach, there is something called Jatar Agni, fire of digestion. So Lord Krishna says, I am that fire of digestion. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita. I am that fire of digestion. That means to digest your food also, you need Krishna. So that means simple things in this world, even just to survive every day, we need Krishna. That's how Krishna takes care of our body. And then the next verse, Lord Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. And Lord Krishna says, I am situated in everyone's heart as the Paramatma, super soul. You know, in all our hearts there is the super soul. And you know what the Lord does? Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. As a super soul, the Lord gives remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. I'll explain this to you. Right? See, when we go to sleep in the night, what happens? Krishna as a Paramatma, we don't notice this, but this is what is happening. When you go to sleep in the night, the Lord as a Paramatma puts off the switch of all your remembrance. What happened in the day, everything is put off so that you can have a peaceful sleep. If that switch is not put off, your full sleep will be disturbed. So the Lord puts it off so that you can have a good sleep. Forget everything and you go to sleep. Now you get up in the morning. The Lord puts on that switch. So therefore you know exactly where you left off yesterday and then you start off today again. The Lord does it. After death, what happens? What we have lived in the past life, the whole remembrance is put off so that we can start living fresh again. So who is doing all this? Who is playing with this? Lord Krishna is saying, I am the one who is giving all this forgetfulness, remembrance. Right? And then Lord Krishna says, this is how Lord Krishna takes care of our mind also. So that means someone who is intelligent, someone who can remember things immediately, it's Krishna's grace, otherwise how is it possible? Vedescha sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva jaham. And Lord Krishna says, most importantly, Lord Krishna has given us Vedas, knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the scriptures. Why? To nourish our soul. Lord Krishna has given us grains, He's given us the fire of digestion, He's doing all this to nourish our body. As Paramatma, He switches off our intelligence, puts it on the remembrance to help us deal with our mind. And Lord Krishna is also helping our soul, taking care of our soul by giving us spiritual knowledge. The Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the Vedic scriptures. And therefore it is very important for us that we take shelter of the Vedic literatures. And when we take shelter of the Vedic literatures, we will understand that ultimately it is that Supreme Lord we have to surrender to. Therefore this chapter is called Purushottam Yoga. What does Purushottam mean? Purusha means human, people, right? But none of us are perfect. We are not perfect. Who is the perfect person? We are all looking for that perfect person. None of the people in this world can match it. So therefore Krishna is called Purushottam. Uttam means perfect. The perfect person that we are looking for, the perfect hero, the perfect role model, the perfect Lord that we are looking for is Krishna. And yoga means to connect. So Bhagavad Gita ultimately is inspiring all of us that we need to make this connection with that Supreme Person. And when we make that connection with that Supreme Person, then gradually we will move away from the attractions of this world. We'll get a little detached and move to that spiritual world where we can eternally serve that Purushottam. That's the idea of the 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any of you all have any questions, any comments? I hope it was not technical. Yes.
मैं तो बीच में बोल ही गया I was just wondering I know we are Panchabhuta.
Yeah, the body is made of Panchabhuta. Okay, and the scriptures do explain that.
I have an example. Like we have Bal Gopal in our house. I kept him since 2005. So a few days back, like in April, my father died. So few days back, me and my mama was doing some discussions regarding some house files. She had placed somewhere and she forgot to find out. And I was arguing like, Mama, where you kept that file? I know Papa was telling this कि तू ठीक से नहीं रखती है ये वो हुआ तो like ऐसा करते करते ना हमारे 2-3 arguments and Krishna was there. He always sit on the sofa. So मैं उसको बोल रही थी मम्मा ऐसे मेरे से आर्ग्यू कर रही है मम्मा को पापा बोलते रहते थे तो तू मेरी बात सुन मुझे वो फाइल बहुत अर्जेंट है ढूंढ के दे तो उसके 4 दिन के बाद सुबह अर्ली मॉर्निंग पापा मम्मा के सपने में आए और उन्होंने वो फाइल वहाँ पे अलमारी के आगे खड़े होकर ढूंढ के दी. आप सोचो मतलब फिर मेरी मम्मा मुझे 7 बजे बोलती है कि बेटा पापा ने मुझे आके बोले क्योंकि मैं कृष्णा में बिलीव करती हूँ तो मैं उनके सामने ही सब कुछ बोल रही थी. देन आई सेड दिस ना कि तू ढूंढेगा और तू मेरे को बताएगा कि तुझे ये करना है जैसे भी करना और ये चीज़ मेरे साथ हुई थोड़ी दिखाई. देखो he is there definitely and in 2012 जुलाई में मेरे पापा का एक्सीडेंट हुआ था. मेरी शादी थी दिसंबर में तो सितंबर में मतलब आप सोचो कि उनको डॉक्टर ने बोला 3 महीने का टाइम आप बेड रेस्ट करोगे. दिसंबर में शादी है तो आप अक्टूबर में दिल्ली जाना. तो अगस्त में मेरे चाचा की भी डेथ हुई. देन ही वाज लाइक कि मैं जा नहीं सकता मेरी टांग में चोट लगी है. देन उनको टेंशन हो रही थी कि इसकी शादी मतलब करनी कैसे करूँ. तो रात को सपनों में सोचते सोचते पापा ने ना मतलब कृष्णा जी आए और बोले कि आप अपनी बेटी की शादी की टेंशन लो. He was sitting on his chest and said कि आप टेंशन मत लो, मैं बैठा हूँ, मैं इसकी शादी करवा के चलूँ. मतलब ऐसे ऐसे एक्सपीरियंसेस होते हैं हमारे घर में. मेरी मम्मा, मेरी चाची मेरे साथ, लाइक, और मेरे बेबी होने के टाइम भी ही केम. कुछ शायद होने वाला था मेरे बेटे पे, तो मम्मा ने सपना देखा कि उनकी गर्दन अलग हुई और वो वापस अपने उसमें रूम में आके बैठ गए.
Yeah, very true. Krishna is always there. I mean, we just don't realize Krishna's help. I mean, these are some examples that you're giving, but what I explained here is common things. I mean, these are some incidences that may happen with some people. But the idea is we are seeing the sun, we are getting the wind, we are getting all this. It's all Krishna's mercy only to upon us.
Then in the dreams, it seems like, the lives are connected. Because
Yeah.
our experience was similar.
Yeah, yeah.
When your parents come and, either they say something to you, find something to you,
Yeah.
or you become a messenger, in someone's presence. You'll get that dream for the message that has to be passed on to the person.
Yeah, so the idea is if you have faith in Krishna, you will see miracles happening everywhere. I think it was Albert Einstein, he said there are only two ways to look at this world. One is to not see miracles anywhere, and the other is to see the miracles of God everywhere.
Only miracle.
Yeah. I was reading Bhagavatam first canto, just like you were telling this. The first canto of Bhagavatam explains Arjuna, after Lord Krishna, winded up his pastime, Arjuna is feeling a lot of separation from Krishna, and he goes to Yudhishthir, his elder brother, and Arjuna is listing out all the achievements in his life. How he achieved Draupadi in the Swayamvar, which was very difficult to get. All the princes were aiming for Draupadi. How Arjuna achieved Draupadi. How he won the war of Kurukshetra, which was the Kauravas had such powerful warriors with them, and so many incidences Arjuna lists, and he says all this was only possible by Krishna's grace. So a devotee means an outside person, someone who's not a devotee, he feels that it's all because of me. That sense of pride is there. But someone who's a devotee, even when he achieves something successful, he understands that it's Krishna's grace. If that Krishna's grace is not there, how much ever effort you put, results may not come. So we have to see that unseen hand of Krishna. Krishna's hand is there, but we just can't see it. So therefore the word Jnana Chakshusha. To see the unseen hand of Krishna, you need the eyes of knowledge. Then you can actually see. But thank you for sharing all of that.
But one more question I have.
Yeah.
For how long does soul remains in the house? Like,
After someone passes away.
yeah, it's just 3 months, no? So
Yeah.
this incident happened before 3 months, like in June.
Yeah. So it takes like a period of few months till the soul gets another body, continues. But the idea is that still, even if your ancestor has taken another body, gone into another life, still some amount of connection still remains there. So therefore, when you being the daughter of your father, when you practice bhakti nicely, then wherever he is, he gets benefit. That connection is always there. Yes.
My question is a little scientific in
Okay.
names to it. So, if souls are reborn, like, I was somebody else, the population seems to be just going crazy. Where are they all coming from? I understand different forms, but is there it's like a little, like how come human population is exploding?
Yeah. I mean, we give an example. I mean, like you have in a school, no? Yeah, first standard, second standard. So generally the first standard children, they go to the second standard, they go to the third standard. And gradually people come to 10th standard. Imagine, I mean, generally in school how it is, first, second standard, the exams are not taken so seriously. They are just pushed up ahead. But in 10th standard, it's serious exam. So imagine if all the children are moved on to the 10th and the 10th standard students are not going ahead only. So you'll have a population explosion in 10th standard. So it's something like that. All the lower species are gradually evolving to humans.
That's it's good.
But humans are not going now. There are too many rebirths happening. So therefore it's time for humans also to progress, move to the spiritual
I
world.
get it.
Okay. So once again, I would like to thank Vrishali Mathuri. Hare Krishna.
Just कह दो Tuesday को